heard about the success of new ventures in Hall County Parks and Leisure, and now we're going to learn more about what's coming up in the next couple of years. The county has acquired property in North and West Hall, and engineers are working on plans right now to improve the quality of recreational services in those areas. Residents have played a big part in this process.
Well, my residence in North Hall had a major influence on the park and the facility, and had a big influence on the location of the facility. We picked a good spot. There's a group in the committee that formed of about 20 residents in the area that formed a group in the committee, and they worked diligently with myself on location of the park, what we needed in the park, and what was going to be in the park. So and when you do a park of the size that I have, you're prioritizing things, you're looking at what needs to be built first. And one thing is also, in the park like we're building at North Hall, it's not really just a park that it really caters to just children or kids or young adults. It also caters to the older age group, especially with the community center factor.
Well, as far as public input on the Cool Springs Park, we had 2 public meetings and had a great participation. People from all around the community came in, and they really liked the different aspects of the Cool Springs Park. There are 2 pretty unique features that we are going to implement there that is different than the North Hall Park, and so they have their own personalities.
When we had the process with North Hall, the hearing, or I would call it a hearing maybe, where people showed up at Mount Vernon, a lot of people came. There was, I guess, well over 100. They were more interested in what was going to be in the facility and what was going to be there for them. And I was really surprised that the senior citizens wanted to know what is going to be in this facility for me. And then with the community center, of course, with the walking track inside, the workout room inside, that really caters to a multi-fashion of age groups of people. So they were very excited about that.
Well, and I think also at the community center, the basketball courts are really important to the youth of the community now. They're, you know, we've both heard complaints where they're having to travel so far to be their home court, and it's in Claremont when they live in Chestatee or East Hall.
Yeah, and this is a pretty central location. This will benefit the people in Billy's area, in his district. It'll benefit the people in what we call the middle North Hall area, as to not having to go to East Hall or down to Mulberry all the time for all their ball games. And that's something that we really needed in the county is, you know, we never can have enough ball fields.
That's right.
And you have, what, 2 or 3 ball fields over there, I think, just baseball-sized fields. We've got 4 going in this park. We never can have enough of those. And we still probably don't, even with building this community center, I still believe in future splosh, maybe in the next splosh or something, there's going to have to be another community center built over in that into that area of District 2, because of the geographic and the drive between the areas. So I think if we get one more community center built over into that area of the county, we'll pretty well have the county covered.
Well, Steve, let's talk a little bit about the construction costs and the timing of the parks and how we're bringing them out of ground at this time of the year and the season, and you know, the economic engine of the housing market just hasn't been there. So let's talk a little bit about that from our perspective also.
Well, I think, you know, we've been involved in the process. Both of us have been involved in the process. Billy wasn't as involved on the architectural selection on the North Hall Park. His park is basically designed and ready to go. We've brought an architect on board, and I know a lot of people ask the question as to why are you building these right now in the economic times, but we're actually probably saving 15 to 20% construction cost on these parks as to what it would have been 18 months ago. And that's all the way down from what project management to architecture to actual bidding from the local contractors. And, you know, and we are both very adamant about, we want our local people to be able to local contractors to be able to work in these parks. We hope that they have the bids that they can do that.
And we're getting great participation from the subcontractor standpoint also. People are hungry now, so the county is going to benefit from that. And we're getting great competition, wonderful companies coming out and giving us prices and wanting to do the work. So there's just multiple reasons for us to go ahead with these And like Steve said, the pricing is coming in just, really, really much lower than what we had anticipated. So we think we might even be able to do some phase 2 items now.
Yeah, and that's what we're hoping. The project manager that's going to do North Hall Park will also do the Cool Springs Park. That makes sense to do that. So we will commence with the grading at the same time with both parts, because we feel like we'll get a better price on the grading to do both parts at the same time. Then as the commission funds money, as money comes in from SPLOST, because these are SPLOST projects, and this is, the people voted for these projects, and this is what this money has to be spent on. You can't use this money to lower property tax. You can't use this money to pay salaries. This is strictly capital projects. So the people voted on this, and we've done something kind of unusual. This commission has done something kind of unusual from the times past. We've always let our park and rec stuff slide to the last of SPLOST. And we decided this time, it's time that they move up to the top of the list. And that way the people are actually getting, because sometimes you don't always collect the money. So what gets cut is what's always at the tail end of the project. So we bump these park projects up to the priority list of the SPLOST 6 funding.
And that brings up a good point, is the funding from the Cool Springs Park will be a SPLOST 5 project, whereas yours will
Mine's
be
mine's coming out of SPLOST 6.
Mm-hmm.
They all intertwine and work together. It's, the monies work together in the fashion. So it really doesn't matter if it's SPLOST 5, SPLOST 6 project, as long as the funding's there. They will be, I think we've got a cap of about $5 million on Cool Springs. Mm-hmm. We've got a cap of about $12 million on North Hall. And is the money, and North Hall is a phased park. I mean, it's a 10 or 15 year build out park if you did it in normal conditions. But we may be able, when we get the guaranteed maximum prices, when they come in on what we're bidding out, to what we've got budgeted, we may be able to move into some phase 2 construction on these parks. Right. That's what we're hoping.